dry eyes, watery eyes, maybe a sore throat. Sometimes we
Yeah.
get that little tickle. It's always good to get an allergy test just to find out. But cedar fever is here, and it is no joke. So
yeah, definitely.
we're also going to talk about that movie. I don't know how many comments we're getting in right now, but have you heard of the movie
Some people waving,
Megan?
some people,
Megan, that movie about the android, a little doll, is out today. So we're going to be talking about some of the reviews that are being reported. I think we are seeing at least a 95%
that's what I
rating
saw
on Rotten
right
Tomato,
now on Rotten Tomatoes,
which is impressive. I think any horror film that
All right, we did it. We've made it off the ground here. Welcome to KSAT News Now.
All right,
producer Robert raising the roof there.
We made it happen.
Yeah, we did. We did. A little bit of a delayed start here as we got some technical things figured out, but shout out to our crew there making it happen as we get set for what is a fun Friday, or a Fly Friday.
Fly Friday. You know, we were just chatting with some of our viewers on Instagram, which is always really nice. So we're now dubbing this as Fly Friday, despite the technical difficulties.
I like that. Yeah, and that was, I think it was, what was it, Tomcat
10,
who basically said that, look at that, Steve and I are looking pretty sharp, so we appreciate that. You always, hey man, you always look very clean, very
well,
dapper.
we were joking about this yesterday. The weather in the morning is so different as opposed to what we're seeing in the afternoon. So, I mean, GMSA in the early mornings, it's nice to have a trench coat over there by my desk as well. So people gave me a head turn at HEB yesterday. So it was cool, I promise.
Yeah, and you know what? People asked for the turtleneck. You said you were going to give us a turtleneck, and you delivered.
Yes. You know what? This is like, I would say, like a half neck. So you can still see a little bit more of my chin. It's there.
Well, okay, so let's get on with the show because we know we got off to a little bit of a later start here, but we're going to be talking, of course, latest news updates, and also Cedar fever wreaking havoc across South Texas. A lot of people dealing with that.
Yeah, and we know also an inmate escapes that also went viral video that was recorded on TikTok, and we have a lot more, but I think we're first going to start with that update on Buffalo Bills safety Demar Hamlin. We know that he was on a breathing tube, and that was actually removed overnight.
Yeah, and he continues to make progress here remarkably in his recovery. That's what the team said that the other day. So these are just the latest updates, and he's continued to talk to his family, doctors there also. And the Bills also confirmed this morning that Hamlin joined them on a team meeting this morning via FaceTime.
Yeah, great progress. The message he shared with his team was, love you boys. I mean, I think that he's seen so much support, and this is something we began our show yesterday with a Demar Hamlin update, and this is, we're ending our week with a very positive update as well. Yeah.
Considering where the week started with him, which was Monday night, and there was obviously, it was a terrifying situation there, and now we have days later, of course, these updates. That is good news there for Demar Hamlin and his family.
Yeah, very happy to see that. But we're moving right along to new information this morning on the high-profile death of rapper Takeoff that took place back in Houston.
That's right. The suspect here is charged with murder in his death, and he has now posted a $1 million bond that was set for him, and this suspect has now been released from jail.
Yeah, in December, Harris County authorities kept Patrick Xavier Clark's bond at $1 million and denied a reduction, saying Clark may be a flight risk.
That's right, and Clark was arrested in early December on the east side of Houston. This was a month after Takeoff, a rapper again, was shot and killed outside a business after a private event. And Takeoff was a member of the platinum-selling rap group Migos, and he was only 28 years old.
That's so young. Police believe Takeoff was an innocent bystander to an argument that took place outside a bowling alley that led to the shooting. He was unarmed and not involved in the argument. And the initial reports, as we've discussed here on KSAT News Now, speaking to witnesses was very difficult for police because we know when you hear those shots that are being fired, people will scatter. It's a scary situation. But on the same subject of Takeoff, we were talking about a song that was released by Quavo. They actually released a new song recently in his honor, and this was to honor his late nephew, a fellow Migos member, Takeoff, and the song is called Without You. And part of it, I was reading the lyrics, are pretty moving, tears rolling down my eyes. Can't tell you how many times I cried. Days ain't the same without you. I don't know if I'll the same without you. And
and this was another death here that shocked, I think, a lot of the music community, the entertainment business as well, and another appears to be very senseless death here. And we will see how this trial continues to play out there in Houston.
Definitely.
All right, moving on to this viral video that we've been talking about. A lot of people have seen this. In fact, over 2 million people.
Wow.
And this was a Smith County jail inmate, so this is out there in East Texas, escaping from police.
Oh, God, it's a crazy video. Timothy Chappelle tried to run on January 3rd. This is in Tyler, Texas. Let's take a look at that video. All right.
Okay,
so there we go.
Okay, so
there it is.
So these were people that were apparently out at a shopping center, and they caught this individual in action right here. Chappelle had apparently busted out of a van, one of these transport vans, and then just hightailed out through this parking lot. You could see there was just a lot of commotion and chaos when this happened.
Yeah, the officer in pursuit stops chasing after Chappelle jumps a fence next to a neighborhood. Now, according to Tyler station KLTV, the man broke into 2 homes. Wow, that's scary stuff.
Yeah, definitely scary. And Chappelle faces felony criminal mischief charges and 2 charges of burglary of habitation. But again, that video now seen on TikTok by over 2 million people, and that number is probably going to continue to grow.
You know, it's probably more than that too, because you think about how the TikTok, the platforms sometimes interchange, and so you'll have TikTok videos shared on Instagram, so you know it's probably even more than 2 million people. And I think that's exactly where I saw the video, because I do not have TikTok, but that is some scary stuff to capture.
Yeah, and it seemed like, you know, as he was kind of running out of there, it's good that authorities ended up obviously catching up to this individual, taking him back into custody, but still a very scary scene. I don't know what I'd do there. I don't know if I'd pull out my phone and get video of it.
You know, you think of the shows like, you know, television shows like Cops, right? I mean, and the whole premise of it is sometimes these pursuits that happen, and now people are capturing this on their phones. It's being posted to social media. Obviously, it's a very scary situation. We're glad that they were able to apprehend him. But yeah, just be careful out there. And it's not something you see every day.
Yeah, definitely. All right, switching gears here a little bit. Are you ready for some football? Because that's right, the XFL announced its inaugural schedule for the 2023 season, and our team, the San Antonio Brahmas, will play the St. Louis Battlehawks on Sunday, February 19th at the Alamo Dome.
All right, got to pack that dome. Kickoff for the game is scheduled for 2 p.m. right here on KSAT 12. The XFL will start games less than a week after the Super Bowl. The Brahmas will play 10 regular season games total.
Here we go, and the XFL is back this year under new ownership. Of course, back in August of 2020, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, yes, The Rock, he was a part of this new ownership group that actually bought the league.
The Rock. I'm trying to do the Rock eyebrow at this time. It's not working out for me. Oh, yeah. Well, hey, WWE, right?
Yes.
The Brahmas game can be found on ABC, ESPN, ESPN2, and FX. We will have a link to this full schedule, of course, on KSAT.com.
Yeah, that's right. Shout out to our digital producer, Ben Spicer, who posted this story the other line. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about this.
You were pretty pumped when you saw that story on the rundown.
Yeah, definitely. I just want to see The Rock show up in San Antonio. That's my biggest thing.
That'll be, you know,
we got to do the pregame introductions or something.
You know, and I love that there's always that need to pack the dome with fans. You know, San Antonio fans, I've never met any fans like there are here in San Antonio, so we know we have the community to show out and support. Yeah,
absolutely. That'll be a lot of fun when that takes place. So again, that schedule is on our website, KSAT.com. All right, not speaking, I mean, the opposite of fun here. Cedar fever is here, and it is wreaking havoc on many San Antonians.
Yeah, many who suffer from allergies have experienced a runny nose. Maybe they're sneezing and have itchy or watery eyes, and we can probably expect that to continue for a little while.
That's right. Cedar and other juniper trees pollinate during the colder seasons, and when cold fronts blow in, it causes pollen to fall from the trees, break open, and then spread with the wind.
Yeah, gone with the wind, and not in a good way. So far, the highest pollen count we have seen in San Antonio, speaking to Mia Montgomery about this, is 13,000, and that was reported last Sunday. Experts say that allergy sufferers may have a rough January and February, and that could be due to that dry weather we've been experiencing.
All right. However, common allergy medications can help reduce these symptoms. You can also opt to stay indoors. Just don't even go outside, and keep the windows closed. And if you're unsure if it's allergies, the best way to find out is to take an allergy test.
That's a good tip.
I have been affected by the Cedar levels this week.
A lot of people have.
Like every single day. Just kind of waking up with itchy eyes, you know, a little irritated. Well, that's kind of been the thing.
A lot of people. We were just talking to Jonathan Gotho earlier, and you know, he was experiencing that as well. You know, I was reading, and obviously you and Justin were talking about this earlier, the pollen count today is still pretty high at around 8,000?
It's in the high category. It's around 8,000. So not as bad as New Year's Day, right, when we had that highest reading that you were talking about earlier, around 13,000, but still pretty much each day this week, it's been at least elevated out there. So if you are kind of experiencing some of those allergy symptoms, that is likely the reason why.
Well, my desk neighbor here at KSAT 12, Erica Hernandez,
she had
her pretty good, and so hopefully she's feeling better. But we were talking though earlier. I haven't felt any of it.
Well, that's good.
I mean, thank good. Knock on wood.
But you know what? I still don't mind, you know, staying inside and closing the windows. I'm, you know, not. Listen, I'm like a vampire, so.
That's true. You do work them kind
so
of.
it's okay.
We're a little knocked out.
I'm all right. Maybe that's why I'm immune to it.
Yeah.
Maybe so. Maybe so. So yeah, we'll see where we go from here. But of course, as y'all were talking about earlier, also Cedar season does last through about mid-February here in South Central Texas. So yeah, we just got to hang in there.
We'll get through it.
All right, today's trivia question. A full moon rises tonight in the San Antonio sky.
Okay.
What is January's full moon called? Our 4 options today: snow moon, wolf moon, strawberry moon, or the beaver moon.
Okay.
B. I'm going to go with B.
Oh, Steven was ready.
Why'd you go with B? Let me.
He was ready.
I did. I'll tell you afterwards. Let's see if it's right.
RJ, what do you think?
Okay, I don't know, that beaver moon always kind of pops up.
that beaver moon. I didn't know beavers have a moon.
You know what? I just like wolf moon. I don't know why.
So
that
we're
is.
both going to go B.
Okay.
Yes, we're both going to go
Can I tell you how I know?
Okay, please go. Did you cheat, Steven?
I did not cheat.
Steven sits right next to me.
I sit right next to Mia, and I'm not too far from Justin. So whenever they're working on their weather one-on-ones, it's really easy to peek over and find out what they're working on. But actually, this morning, Mike Osterhage was talking about the wolf moon.
Oh, well,
and so
you got a little preview.
yes, you know what? It's good. It's Weather 101.
Weather 101. The more you know.
The more you know.
Right? So yes, January's full moon is called the wolf moon because this time of year is when wolves are typically active and when they can be heard howling on cold nights. That's been kind of the tale that goes with calling January's moon the wolf moon.
Okay.
So there you go. Also, the more you know.
There.
Weather 101. There you go.
Because of wolves.
So
Very nice.
speaking
I like
of
it even more.
which, there you go. Like it even more. If you are planning on sky gazing later this evening to catch a glimpse of the full wolf moon, it officially becomes full at 5:08 our time, but it's not going to rise in the San Antonio sky until 5:37, and it will rise above the northeast horizon. So when you start to see it, know that it is already full. Mostly clear skies expected later this afternoon and into the evening. Temperatures in the low 70s around dinner time and then transitioning into the upper 60s shortly thereafter. So not going to have really any big issues there if you are planning on looking out for the wolf moon. Of course, a little bit different later this evening compared to what we saw earlier this morning. The humidity is going to be working its way back into San Antonio and surrounding areas today, and even more so tonight. Because of that, we did have some areas of patchy fog earlier this morning as well, especially along and east of the I-35 corridor, and then even in spots in the hill country. Rock Springs earlier this morning was one of the places in the hill country that had reduced visibility, and right now it looks like things are improving pretty well. New Braunfels still a little bit of that low cloud cover and ceiling in place. Gonzales looking like conditions are improving there also here late this morning. That will continue to be the trend here as we head into the next couple of hours. And speaking of which, even the cloud cover that we saw this morning is going to break up more this afternoon, leading way to more peaks of sunshine, helping those temperatures warm into the 70s for most as we head into this afternoon, around 75, maybe 76 here in San Antonio. And then again, mostly clear skies expected later this evening, temperatures falling into the 60s. Now, with that humidity returning though, we're going to see a humid day tomorrow, and with all of that moisture, some more areas of fog are expected to develop tonight and into the early morning hours of our Saturday. Some drizzle is also expected throughout a good portion of the day. Just kind of expect a damp day across the majority of the area. This is all ahead of our next cold front that's going to move into the San Antonio region really tomorrow night. So again, some pockets of drizzle, some light showers possible tomorrow. As we see that front then make its way into the central and eastern portions of the area tomorrow night, it's possible we find a couple of isolated thunderstorms, a few heavier downpours, mainly east of San Antonio. So for places like Gonzales, Pleasanton, Cuero, Shiner, and Hallettsville, maybe into the early morning hours of our Sunday, could find a couple of rumbles of thunder there. Not a bad idea to keep your KSAT Weather Authority app handy there. Of course, we'll be here to monitor whatever does pop up. Then on Sunday, maybe an isolated lingering shower in the morning, but lower humidity filters back in. We see partly cloudy skies, and temperatures do come down just a little bit. So tomorrow we're in the 70s for those afternoon highs, and then into Sunday we're in the 60s. So it is going to feel a lot better, especially with that drier air moving through. Of course, it just adds to that comfortableness factor when you do step outside.
Yes, so turtlenecks, I could still
Your
make it
turtlenecks, yes.
Go
Especially in the
4 days
morning.
straight with the turtlenecks.
Well, no, yeah, I could do it. You know
turtlenecks.
what, though? It was funny because we joked earlier yesterday was the fact that, hey, in the morning it was so chilly the last 2 days or so, and then by the afternoon it warms up.
Yes.
And I'm out there, in shorts and a t-shirt. And that's nice.
Typical Texas fashion, right?
You never know what you're going to get.
You never know what you're going to get.
But that's why it's good to have that KSAT weather app.
That's it. Always updating.
Make sure you're always updated.
Yes.
Thanks, Mia.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Happy Friday.
Guys. Happy Friday to y'all.
Happy Fly Friday. Mia always looking
We're going to make
fly.
it big. Yes, of course. And you know what? We have your new best friend right here. Her name is Megan. Yeah, that anticipated new horror flick is finally out in theaters, and I've been checking the showtimes today, and the reviews are pretty killer.
All right, so CNN reports that the film delivers the horror and the humor and brings the
dolls. One of them was a wind-up doll, and the doll would move whenever you wound. And I don't know why my parents did this to me.
Yeah.
They put all the dolls, I guess because I had maybe a pretty big closet, they put them all in my room, and one day the doll started playing a creepy,
oh my God,
creepy music, and it was moving, and it was moving, but yeah, there was you didn't know there was a killer doll franchise.
No, I didn't. Actually, I looked this up here, and we were talking about kind of the OGs, of course, like Chucky.
Chucky's an OG.
Annabelle, those were some of the ones. You mentioned Puppet Master.
Puppet Master, I would say, is pretty much on that same genre.
So what else do we have here? We have, let's see, Annabelle, that's the main one.
There's a whole
There's a list.
Here.
There's a list, yeah. Chucky is number one, Child's
Play.
Makes sense. Bride of Chucky. Can't
one of
forget
the first movies I was ever frightened by, which is so silly now.
What else? Dolly Dearest, a 1991 movie where there's a horrifying doll
I'm not going to lie, I have seen that.
Bowie knife.
I have seen that. Sometimes the best movies are those B movies that have like the silly plot line and the bad acting. Oh yeah, so good, so good.
Robert chiming in, producer Robert. The Goosebumps doll.
Slappy, yeah, we talked about Slappy the dummy.
Yes. We said he was not a homicidal dummy.
No, he wasn't homicidal
he was
though.
Just a very mean dummy.
He was just sadistic. He was sadistic. Yeah, Goosebumps.
Oh boy.
Yeah, R.L. Stein.
Hey, there was also one here called Papi Gudia. I don't know what this is.
That one looks a little scary.
1996 movie. It seems like a remake from Child's Play.
Well, listen,
India.
if you want to stay inside and avoid the Cedar fever,
there you go.
Go see a movie.
And get freaked out.
Get freaked out by a doll movie. There's plenty of them to go around.
yeah. A lot of good stuff going on this weekend. Of course, as people kind of get back a little bit from routine after the holidays. So hopefully you guys stay safe out there, whether it's hanging out with Megan or hanging outside.
That's funny. We'll see you back here next week.
Yeah, we are going to wrap things up. Thanks again for staying with us. We know we started a little bit late, but appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We'll see you back here Monday at 11 a.m.